spill, and y'all know what the deal is. We keep it real up here, but we keep it simple, but we keep it real. Before I go into some things, please like and subscribe, okay, and share the video. Uh, Hit that notification bell. Make sure it says all, so that when I go live, hopefully you'll get notified. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Yes, I'm late. I got my grandkids here, and it was chaos up in the building, but it's all good. I'm here. I am here, and I got a little conversation for y'all on tonight. Okay, we're gonna talk about something that I think you know. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really feel like some of us are lost in the sauce and we stuck in the rut and we gotta catch up. I really feel like that because we need to go back to some of the old days, right? Some of the things we did in the old days. We are, it just seems like so many of us are jumping on the new train. Everything that's trending, we jumping on it. And let me tell you something. Everything that's trending ain't good for you. Okay? And don't end up walking into a trap, right? Because it seems good, right? It seems good the way some people can dress things up. They make it look good and it seems good. But everything that look good and seems good is not always good. Okay? Let's start there. Like for real. Everything is not always good people. Okay? So that's something that we gotta you know, really pay attention to, right? Because every time something new come out, everybody, a lot of people want to jump on it because it's new, and they make it seem so good. It make you think that it's, oh, this is it. This is the right thing. This is what you need to do. And some of us jump on it. We jump on it thinking it's a good thing. It's not. It's not always a good thing, right? So sometimes you need to take a step back and just wait a while and see what's really going on. Because a lot of times when when new things come out, there's something going on behind it, you know? And we need to pay attention to that. A lot of times there's something going on behind it. And certain things, they gonna make it seem good to you because they trying to hook you, you know? It's like bait. It's bait for real. So sometimes it behoove you to set back and pay attention to what's really going on first, right? And don't think that everything that you think is good, or because it looks good, you think it's good, because that's not always the case. Okay. Once if you sing ice ice baby, oh lord, not that. You couldn't pick something else. Oh, not that one. I don't know what a chemical romance. What is that? I don't know what that is. But anyway, so I'm saying I just feel like we need to get back to some things that used to happen back in the day. I think some of us are so disconnected and we so caught up in the worldly things, right? And I titled this, I wanted to talk about the village, right? Because when I was coming up, it was a village, right? It was my mom's girlfriends, you know, uh, yeah, it was a village. Like the whole block was involved. You know what I'm saying? We go outside and play. Big Mama up the street, sitting on the corner, on her steps and whatever. She peeking and looking to see what's going on. You know, like everybody was involved. We need to really get back to that, right? Because I just feel like we losing our youth. We losing our youth to a lot of things because we're not involved enough. We're not involved enough. And some of us are single moms, okay? And for whatever the reason, we are single moms, even though people always trying to put the blame on the mother, right? Always trying to put the blame on the mother. If you're a single mother, it was your fault. You did it. This, like it's crazy. It's crazy the things that I hear when it comes to single mothers. But like I said, if you made a baby with that woman, okay, and y'all didn't stay together, you have you know, you're supposed to see about that child. I don't give a fuck what's going on. You supposed to see about that child. It's just that simple. you know, I don't care. I don't care about I don't care about, what happened. I don't care about that. You have an obligation just as much as that mother have an obligation to take care of that child. All everything else is bullshit in my book. I don't want to hear all that, because I feel like people be making excuses, right, for not doing what's right. That's how I look at it. I feel like people be making excuses for not doing what's right, you know? And so that's why I stand on that, okay? If you a single mom, I was a single mom, right? Listen, I don't want to hear none of that. I did my part, right? If you didn't do your part, that's your problem. You got to explain that to your child. I did my part, okay? And I didn't bad mouth him or nothing. I just left him where his ass was at. Simple as that. And I did what I had to do as a mother, you know? But like I said, when that time comes, you got to explain to your child why you wasn't there, okay? So I don't play that bad mouthing the father and stuff like that in front of the kids. I don't do shit like that. And I don't commend that, okay? I feel like let it go. Let it go. Let them do, because a father is going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. Either they going to be a father to that child or they going to go on about their business, okay? It's as simple as that. They going to do what they want to do. You can't make them do nothing, right? And for me, when I found out that, you know, my that he wasn't gonna do right, I just dismissed him altogether. I didn't go running behind him trying to make him do nothing and all that. I dismissed his ass. And I went on and a I went on and did what I had to do as a mother. So, you know, because at the end of the day, they gotta deal with that. They gotta deal with that. And let me tell you something. Don't nothing good come out of it. When you walk out on that child because you get mad with that mother for whatever the reason, nothing good comes out of it. Trust and believe me, nothing good comes out of it. Okay? I'm telling you now, my true father is still running around in circles. Okay? Because he didn't do the right thing. And now he's paying for it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like I said, I did my part. I was there and I did what I could do. And that's all. That's it and that's all. But we need to I feel as though we need to get back to the village because you have some men who won't do right. They get the woman pregnant and by the time she had a baby, he done went on about his business or you know what I mean? He done checked out altogether. It's sad, but it's true. Um, so um, I think we need to get back to that village because it will give single mothers how can I put it? It will give single moms a break, right? When you got a village helping you, when you got a group of people that's helping you and stuff, it will give you a break. It really would, So I just think we should go back to having a village, and we got to stop being so caught up in wanting to do it ourselves. And I can take care of myself because I'm strong and I'm built like that. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that because let's be clear, don't nobody want to be doing that shit by themselves. Okay, don't nobody want to be doing that all by themselves. Like the truth is the truth. Nobody wants to be being a mother by themselves 24/7. Grand Rising, Terry. How are you? Glad to see you too, my friend. How are you doing? And so, yeah, no mother wants to be doing that by herself. Don't no mother want to do all that by herself all the time. Like, let's be clear about that. And I know sometimes we put on masks. We put on masks and we play that part of being strong. And we play that part like, yeah, we built for the storm. And we are built for the storm. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. We are built for the storm. But we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be doing that all the time. You know what I'm saying? We don't. We don't want to be doing that all the time. Sometimes we want to kick back and do some self-care and unwind, stuff like that. We don't want to be like grinding, feel like we grinding 24/7, like we trying to figure it out 24/7. Nobody wants to do that. Not like that. So if we get back to having a village, right, we can kind of help one another out, which would make it easier on each other. It would make it very easier on each other if we get back to having a village. We don't have to get caught up in all the new shit that's coming out. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to always be a part of that. Sometimes we can check out on that shit and go back to the old school stuff. I know that's right, Tari. Tari say I'm doing great. I ain't claiming anything less. I know that's right. I feel you on that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to get back. We need to go back to some of that because a lot of that helped us. It helped us, because sometimes my mom would get home late from work and I would still get to go outside because Big Mama was up the street sitting on her porch, you know, and somebody else sits across the street sitting on their porch and stuff like that. So when my mother was late getting home, I could still go out and play because we had people on the block watching us. We had people on the block watching us. And my mother would call Big Mama and say, Lisa want to come out and I'm not home yet. I'm working late. Is it okay if she come out if you're sitting on the porch? And of course, Big Mama said, yeah, I got her. You know, everybody had a Big Mama back during them times, Everybody had a Big Mama. So listen, most of us had 2, 3 Big Mamas. Sometimes more than that. But I'm just saying, we need to go back to some of that stuff and stop thinking that we got to keep up with the worldly things. We don't have to keep up with the worldly things. We can start doing what works for us. We can start doing what works for us and stop thinking that the worldly things is the way to go because it's not. It's not, you know? Just like everybody is like into the AI. And I get it. I get what AI do and everything, right? But you gotta be careful with that. You gotta be careful with that too. Because I feel like they trying to take AI and make it uh make AI like the people. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Now I could be wrong, but I feel like they trying to take AI and make it people, make it the people. You know, when the creator, that's not what the creator did. That's not what the creator did. Okay, the creator did not make AI. Okay, that's not how the creator did, and that's why I do believe that down the line something's not going to go right because, like I said, that wasn't it. That's not what the creator created. Let me put it like that. He didn't create it like that. So, you know, it just is what it is. That's just how I feel about it when I think about certain stuff. I just don't, I don't know. I just don't think, like I said, when you think about the creator making human beings, what did he make human beings for? Think about that. Think about that. So, I don't know how far that's going to get, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to playing out like people trying to make it playing out. That's all I'm going to say about that. You know, I learned about I always have a problem pronouncing that word, Ecclesiastes. I think I pronounced it right. Moments from a female rapper, life coach, and YouTuber named Love Dorsey. Yeah, I checks her out. I listen to her too. I listen to her too. Sorry, Love Dorsey. Yeah, I have listened to her too. Will cause a decline in physical health and mental health. Yes, yeah. That's listen. Listen, I just feel like I get what you're saying, Tari. I understand that for real. But like I said, I just think that sometimes we need to go back, to the basics. We need to go back to what works. Does that make sense to y'all? I hope it do. Sometimes that's how I feel. I feel like we need to go back to what works. Go back to the basics, you know? I do. I think that's why a lot of times certain things don't work out the way it should is because some of us are too caught up in hello, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. I think that um, going back to the basics is, I just think that's something that we need to think about instead of getting caught up in everything that's trending in the world, in the worldly things, right? Because uh, some of the basic things that we used to do, it worked. It was working. It was working. So I just feel like that's what we should think about going back to instead of being so caught up in, you know, everything that pops up that's trending or supposed to be new coming out. That's just how I feel. Because I feel like the creator did certain things for a reason, right? So that's why I feel like that. Because the creator did things for a reason. And I feel like that's why I feel like some things we should go back to the basics. Yeah. Because it was done by the creator. And if he had meant for it to be something else, then he would have made it something else. Or he would have changed it himself. He didn't change nothing. Uh-huh. He didn't change nothing. So I just feel like, you know, we need to get back to some of that. Because it would make it so much easier on other people. You know, if we come together and we start, you know, leaning on one another and helping each other out, I really feel like, you know, it would really help a lot of other people out in so many ways. You know? Just imagine, let me give y'all something to think about. Just imagine if I got 1,000 women together, right? Say I got 1,000 women together and we all put up our money, right? We all put up a certain amount of money and we all went together and got a piece of land. We put houses on that land. We put we dug up our gardens and started our gardens and stuff and everything. Just think about that. Just imagine that, right? Can you really listen? Do you know how different that would be? 1,000 women. I take 1,000 women and we basically go back to the basics. We get a piece of land, we put houses on it, right? And we go back to the basics. We take and we start growing our food, right? Um, we could get some what's the names? The lay the eggs and for people that want eggs. You understand what I'm saying? Like seriously, come on. Just think about that. Just think about how different it would be and how easier it would be. Okay? All of us, all 1,000 of us come together and we help one another. Just think about that. When it's time for us to pay taxes on the land, we come together and do that. And listen, nobody will be shortchanged. Nobody will be getting shortchanged or none of that. You see what I'm saying? And it wouldn't even be that much because we all pitching in together. So it wouldn't even cost that much coming from each one of us. Them taxes wouldn't even, we wouldn't even miss that little money. All of us, hens and roosters. That's right, Terry. All of us come together and, you know, and just do the damn thing. Just live and live a good life. You understand? We could all travel together, right? And go different places together and stuff. Like, seriously. Just think, I'm just giving y'all something. I'm just using this for an example, right? To give y'all something to think about. Just think about that. You wouldn't have to worry about struggling or you understand what I'm saying? Or worrying about if you're gonna be able to buy some food for your family and stuff. Because we'd be set. We'll be good. You wouldn't even have to worry about that, you know? That's what I'm saying. Huh. Get enough of us together and we could create a lot of things. We really could, you know? And while we doing that, we will work on ourselves. And when I say work on ourselves, I'm talking about learning how to love ourselves, learning how to be comfortable in our skin and stuff like that. You know, we will be doing work, inner work, or shadow work, if you want to call it. You call it shadow work. We would be doing shadow work on ourselves. You know, like seriously. Because let me tell you something. The more you work on yourself and make you the best version of yourself, the better you're gonna be able to treat people right. You know, you're gonna be able to treat people better and better and better the more you work on you and get you together, get your inner self together, right? Because some of us, let's be clear, suffer from trauma, some type of trauma. Some of us suffer from it. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. A lot of us do. A lot of us suffer from something, from some type of trauma. So it's not like that's something new. It's not new. And the thing about it is that some of us got to learn to deal with that trauma. Stop trying to hide it. Act like it ain't there. No, you need to face it and deal with it. Let me tell you a little story right quick. Wait a minute, y'all, excuse me. Let me get y'all a story right quick. I used to take, after I got clean, right? Now, before I started using, I was a heroin addict. I'm a recovering heroin addict. I've been clean over 20 years. But before I got into that, I used to always look at myself in the mirror, right? Because I used to keep my hair laid, I used to keep my nails done, and dress real nice and everything. So I always used to look in the mirror. But as time went on, right? We must remember a trauma has no power unless you believe it and live it. Please don't be the power plant. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But listen, with trauma though, listen, some of us done had some things that happened to us that's really got us traumatized. The thing of it is that you have to deal with that. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it, good people. You got to deal with that. And I'm going to tell you how to deal with it. Okay? So when I was in there, okay, I used to always look in the mirror and stuff, look at myself and how nice I look and everything. Okay, so once I started using, slowly I stopped looking in the mirror. I started glancing in the mirror, and I would keep going. So eventually, I stopped looking in that mirror altogether. Okay, well, when I got clean and I stayed clean, I went back to that mirror. And I started talking to myself in that mirror, right? I started talking to myself and opening up to myself on an honest level, a deep level, right? Because this doesn't work unless you really, really be honest about what you're saying to yourself. You got to be honest or it's not going to work for you. So I was very honest about me and what I had been through with my addiction and everything, right? And I used to always cry. So I would take a break, but then I would go back. I never just stopped. I would take that break because I'd be so emotional, but then I would go back to that mirror and I would continue talking about it, right? Let me tell you something. Me doing that, like, healed me within. No bullshit. I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it. If I get emotional and I start crying, I would take me a break, get myself together, and I would go back and I would do it, pick up where I left off. Let me tell you something. It works. It works. If you work it, it will work. But you have to be open and honest with yourself. You can't go in there looking in the mirror talking about, oh, I'm so pretty. I just love me because I'm so pretty. No, not, no, no, no. You got to open up and talk about how you feel about yourself. Start there. Start with, how do I really feel about me? Right? Because some of us don't feel good about ourselves. Let's be clear about that. For whatever the reason. Some of us, we put up a front. Some of us wear masks. When you get in that mirror, you got to drop everything. You got to get naked. And when I'm saying naked, I ain't talking about literally, but you got to get naked. I'm talking about coming up with all the honesty, right? Taking the mask off and go down deep in your shanana and come up with everything, the trauma, whatever's done happened to in your life and whatever got you feeling like you don't love you. Talk about it in that mirror, okay? Or you can journal. Get you a journal and sit down and write what you feel about yourself on the top of your head. Just write it down. Don't try to make it look cute. Don't try to dress it up and all that. Just write that shit down on that journal. What you feel, how you feeling at that moment. How are you feeling about you? What are you feeling about you? What does that look like? Right? And you put it down in that journal. Then after you done did it and got a lot of it out of you, go back and read it. Go back and read it and see what happened. But that mirror thing is powerful. It's very powerful. I'm going to put an ebook together and sell it. It's going to be called The Man in the Mirror. I'm going to put an ebook together and sell it to people because it works. It really, really works. It works. All you got to do is be honest with yourself. You understand? See, that's the problem with some of us. Some of us wear a lot of masks. We really do. We wear a lot of masks. And we don't want to be real and upfront. We ain't got it in us. We enjoy being fake because that's what we've been doing for so long. Some of us been being fake for so long. That's what we enjoy. We don't know what it is to be real and authentic. And the reason why we don't know what it is because we've never practiced it. You know what I'm saying? You've never practiced that in your real life. Some of us have been so fake. Some of us are so disconnected with ourselves. Like, seriously, it's just the truth. Some of us are very disconnected with ourselves. Well, and that's why we are like we are. Some of us are, you know. We've been very disconnected. But I'm a firm believer. If you tap into yourself, you can, listen, you can change you. Let me say that again. You can change you if you really want to. You can. Some of us are scared. Some of us are scared to tap into ourselves because some of us don't want to face the truth about who we are. I said what I said. That's right, Tari. That's what I'm saying. When you look in that mirror, what do you see? What do you feel about you when you look in that mirror? That's what I'm saying. That's right. Do you love what you see? Because a lot of us don't. We just can't be honest with ourselves. A lot of us do not like what we see when we look in that mirror. The inner self. Your inner self don't like, you know, what they see. That's just the truth. And I'm not saying everybody like that. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. But we do got, it is a lot of us walking around lacking self-love. And that's just the truth. A lot of us are walking around and we don't love ourselves. I was looking at this thing today with my daughter, right? It was called Pop the Balloon. I know some of y'all probably seen it. Where they be looking for a date or whatever. Let me tell you something. It was so much colorist. It was so much colorist in those videos, right? So many of the people was colorists. They wanted light skin. They wanted somebody light skin and stuff. It's sad. And it's a lot of us that's like that. That colorist stuff is something else. It really is. We really got to get out of that. Got to get out of it. A lot of them wanted somebody light skin. One of the guys said, yeah, I want me a lighty. I'm like, what? I said, this is crazy. Me and my daughter was talking. I said the colorist thing is serious up in these things. It was. Them guys was colorist as hell. They wanted light skinned women. They didn't want no dark skinned women. Tari said, Miss Lisa, you taught me this great lesson, this great life lesson. We must remember change is more than metal and paper in your pocket. That's right, Tari. Listen, it was sad. It was sad. It was so much colorist in that video, right? Them guys wanted light-skinned women. I said, now, how can you not like a woman who's dark skinned or brown skinned, right? When you dark skinned and brown skinned, right? Most of the guys were dark skinned and brown skinned, but they wanted light skinned women. I said, wow. And you know what? Most of us, believe it or not, a lot of our black people of color, are colorists. It is what it is. I said what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said. It's just that they don't want to admit. They don't want to admit to it. They don't want to own up to it. But we got a lot of them. We got a lot of people that's colorist. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Some of them are so colorist. You know how people are racist? Some of our people of color are colorists. Like people are racist. Okay? I said what I said. I said what I said. And listen, we got to do better. We got to get out of that. That's sad. That is so sad. That is so cringy when you a person of color and you don't love the skin that you in. When you look in the mirror, you don't like the complexion you are. I knew some girls that was bleaching their skin. Talking about them being so dark. They was having a problem getting a date and stuff like that. I was like, what? What? Boy, I got on them. Yeah, I got on them. I said, until you learn how to love you, you ain't gonna never find nobody. And that's just facts. That's facts. For those of you that's having a problem being comfortable in your skin because of your complexion or because of the way you built up or something like that, God created you like that for a reason. You are unique because the Creator made you like that. So I don't understand it. I don't understand why some people is fighting with themselves because they feel like they too dark or they feel like they not built up right. I don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all better learn to love yourself. Your life is never going to be right until you learn how to love you. It's not. You're going to be unhappy. Until you learn how to love yourself, you are going to be an unhappy person. It's not going to come together for you. You got to learn how to be comfortable in your skin. You got to learn how to accept you for you. And let me tell you something else. You're not going to be able to change you until you accept who you really are. Once you accept who you really are, then you can change you can change the parts that you don't like. But first, you got to accept that person that you really are. See, some people try to block out who they really are and then they want to make change. You can't do that. Isn't that ain't gonna work? It's not gonna work. You gotta first accept who you really are first. That's what you gotta do. Then you can work on making changes. Listen, we are powerful people, people of color. We are very powerful people, okay? In so many ways. I mean, in so many ways. But what is holding us back is that we don't love ourselves. I said what I said. We are lacking self love. We are lacking self love. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. We lacking it. And until we get it together and start loving ourselves, we're going to, some of y'all going to see some hard times, some real hard times until you start to love yourself. I don't care what nobody say about me. You hear me? My kids will tell you. They'll be like, my mama don't care. She don't care. She don't care about nobody talking about her. I don't care. I don't. Because I have learned to love me. I have learned to love me for who I am. What you think about me, it does not matter. Because whatever you eat doesn't make me shit. So why am I going to worry about what you think about me? It don't matter. It don't matter. And that's what you got to learn. You got to learn that other people cannot make you, uh, you know, other people have the strength over you because you give it to them, right? Like when somebody talk about you, it bothers you. So that gives that person strength over you. Yeah, because you let what they say affect you. And it affects you because you don't love yourself. You are lacking the ability to love yourself. That's why when people talk about you or say something about you, it bothers you because you're not there. You haven't started to love yourself yet. You don't accept you for who you are. So the minute that somebody say something about you, you're up in arms. You're ready to fight because you're lacking the ability to love yourself. You're lacking the ability to be comfortable in your skin. That's the problem. That's the problem, good people. That's the problem. I want to tell y'all a little bit of something. I created a business, right, for myself. Um, but check this out. The business is so deep. Oh man, is it deep? And what I help people do is to take their story and make a journal or ebook out of it and get income off of it. We all have a story, right? We all have a story. And some people you may think my story ain't worth anyway. Don't nobody want to listen to my story. That's what you think. That's what you think. But once I showed them how to put their story together and create it, hey, they was off and running. They was off and running, right? And while we are doing that, people are also working on themselves, working on becoming better people. It's not just all about making money, but it's also about us, learning to love ourselves. hmm And I love it. And I love being, I just love being with people. I do because I love sharing all the wisdom and knowledge that I have. I love sharing it. So yeah, you know. But yeah, you gotta get to that place where you love yourself. You got to. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, life is just not gonna be right. You gotta get to that place where you love you and where you be comfortable in your skin. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Once you get there and you find that peace, oh man, it's a game changer. I'm telling you. It makes you feel so good. Like seriously. But you have to get to that place first. You have to get there. hmm Like I said, use that man in the mirror. It's so powerful. That man in the mirror thing is really, really powerful. I know that's right, Tari. Tari says Social Security check and doctors only seen me on paper. That lesson helped me reclaim my voice in my life. I know that's right. hmm Yep. You just do. You got to get to that place Where you determined to love you. Mm-hmm. No matter what's going on, you just got to be determined to love you. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting ready to go, y'all. I ain't mean to stay on here this long. Listen, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Tari, for being here with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my brother, for being here with me. It's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to see you. And prayerfully, I'll see y'all on the next one. Hey, if the Lord spare me, y'all, my birthday is coming up, February 11th. Yeah, the Lord's willing. He let me, live to that day. My birthday is on February 11th. You know what? I'm not the type of person that really get into the signs, right? But my sign is Aquarius. But let me tell you something. When I hear people say, oh, I'm an Aquarius, and this and that, I be like, I can't believe it. Listen, I be like, I can't believe it because we two different, totally different people. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that be saying they Aquarius, we are two totally different people. I be like, I can't believe this person is Aquarius. I be laughing so hard because when they be talking about they Aquarius, I be like, wow, these people is totally different from me. So how is they, Aquarius? But sir, I always laugh about that. Because I be like, it ain't no way. I say, that's why I don't believe in them signs and stuff. Because I be like, how's these people gonna say they Aquarius? And I'm an Aquarius too. And I don't be having nothing in common with these people that say they Aquarius. I'm telling you, that's why I don't know. That's why I don't get into those signs like that. Because I don't be thinking, sometimes I don't think they be real. They don't be, up and up, rather. Like, seriously. But I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. And I will see y'all on the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right now. I'll holla.